Hello there and welcome back to some more Silly Car Showdown today, and we are taking a look at the 2017 Ford Focus RS. This car was requested by Jason Poland, and this one should be interesting. Of course, this is the third generation of the Ford Focus RS, this particular model, of course, being when they switched from front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, and that is the key ingredient to this car. I think this could be very, very quick indeed. This could potentially be going after our NSX, depending on what I can get away with. There's a couple of reasons why I think that way. Number one, there's a wide body kit for this car. Now, as previously discussed, the cars are not allowed Forza Aero on this particular version of Silly Car Showdown, but they are allowed wide body kits, and that does give them a level of front downforce. Again, they don't get the wing to go with it, but they do still get a little bit of an advantage in that. Secondly, the engine. There's a 6.2 litre V8 available for this, which is what Jason Poland said that he wanted in this car, so that's what we're going to go with, and we're going to twin turbocharge it as well. Of course, as usual in this series, no drivetrain swaps are allowed, and both the wings here are adjustable, so we're just going to leave that as is. Right. The one thing I'm slightly worried about on here is tyres. We'll have to... Ooh, okay, maybe... Never mind. 295s on front, that's pretty good. And 295s on rear as well. Pretty decent. I think the Subaru was running somewhere around there, and the Subaru was a very, very quick car indeed, so that's something good. Don't worry as well, when this car gets lowered, it'll look slightly less ridiculous than it does now. Sort of... The way this works is essentially if the car isn't lowered, the wide body kits do look a little bit strange. We are going to go for the race springs, so yeah, that does bring it down a little bit. Looks a bit nicer. Fitment's still a little bit further out than I'd like it to be, but there you go. Anyways, we are going to have all of this. Roll cage, weight reduction, S1872 before we've even got to the power figures, which is pretty good. So let's put all of this stuff in. PI is climbing nicely, as you'd expect. We're probably going to be... Okay, never mind. I was going to say we'll be a low S2 class, but we haven't even touched the turbos yet, and we are going upwards. There we go. Chuck the twin... Wow, okay. Up to S2 940, 941. We're going to go back down to 939 for a little bit of extra power, and end up at S2 942. 1,016 horsepower, 851 foot-pound torque, 2,997 pounds of weight. 2.6 seconds to 60, a top speed of 208 miles per hour. This is going to be one very, very, very quick Ford Focus indeed. And like I said, there is a very, very real possibility this could go towards the top of the leaderboard. If it doesn't challenge the NSX, it's certainly going to be a big challenge for cars like the Subaru Impreza and the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, which have been really good all-wheel drive cars. So, without further ado, let's get it on the track and see what it does. So here we are once again at our very snowy Edinburgh track, ready to set 5 laps with the Ford Focus RS to see how it gets on. Our current leader is the Honda NSXR GT Hybrid, that's at a time of 142.500. The Focus could be in with a shot at beating that if it does well enough. It has more power than that does, and it has the added advantage of 4-wheel drive. Of course, there is the potential for this car to not drive particularly well, but I don't foresee that, considering it's the Ford Focus RS, which is a pretty good handling car from stock. It should certainly be quick, and considering the likes of the Alfa Stelvio, the Subaru Impreza Hawkeye, which bear in mind was running its stock engine no less, we have had some seriously quick times out of all-wheel drive cars, somewhat unsurprisingly. So a quick time with the Focus is very, very, very likely indeed. How much speed do we get down here? 163. I believe the Honda was getting slightly more. I think the Honda and the Stelvio, in fact, were sort of closer to 170 down there, so maybe a little bit short on straight line speed. Of course, it does weigh. Well, actually, no. It doesn't weigh more than Stelvio. Can't remember if the Stelvio had more or less power than this. Not too sure. Of course, as the lap goes on, we may very well end up going a little bit quicker. I will say, acceleration-wise, it is very quick. Handling is pretty darn top-notch. It seems like a really good all-round vehicle, this. if I don't miss my braking point, which I'm going to. That corner, I need to figure something out for that corner, because that one really is a complete nightmare to get right occasionally, but yeah, it just overall at the moment seems like a very, very good, well-rounded automobile, and on its first lap, it's got a set of 147.810, which is incredibly quick, and that was with a couple of cock-ups, and also the fact that that was from a standing start. Granted, the launch on this is better than most cars, but still. Through this first section, you can sort of feel the slight disadvantage of having all-wheel drive is through those sort of tighter technical sections. While sure you can get it launched better, your level of control isn't quite as good as it is in certain other cars that are a little bit more nimble. That's one thing the Focus RS should have going in its favour, is that it is a little bit smaller and a little bit more nimble, but because of the wide body, it's actually quite a wide car, so you do have to give it a decent amount of room to do its thing. A little bit slidey up there. A little bit of a rear end slide in general. I'm assuming if you stuck adjustable aero on this, it would be a lot better if you used the wing that's sort of intended for this car. It'd be a lot better, but it really is not anything too bad. It's not really costing the car all that much time, and it really is a very, very easy car to drive. One of the easiest. I don't know if it's quite as easy as the Subaru, because the Subaru was incredibly smooth. This isn't as smooth as the Subaru, but it is definitely quicker in a straight line. There's no denying that. Through the switchblade, yeah, it's just the launch on this thing is very good. Overall top speed, not so much, but the actual, just in general, launch is pretty good. That's one thing about these wide body cars, is they might not have as quicker straight line speeds because of the fact that they do have that sort of front aero built into them by default, which is something to worth bear in mind. It can help the cars in some ways, but you know, it can also hinder the cars, which is important to remember. R1 43.276 for the Focus. That would put it into third place right now, just off of the pace of the Stelvio, but I can do a lot smoother. As I said, it's just a really good all-round performance car. There's no denying that. It's a really... You can't go wrong with the Focus RS. You know, in the Subaru episode, I'm comparing this to the Subaru a lot because they are kind of similar in the sense that they're very easy to drive, all-wheel drive, and very quick. You know, I said in the Subaru episode, a Subaru Impreza is always a very good option if you're going to build a car. The Focus RS is really not a bad option either. I would say the Subaru is a little bit more expendable in case of where you want it, but in terms of building a road car or a street racing car or something like that, the Focus is very good, and again, it has the advantage of that wide body kit, which is always very helpful indeed. It does seem to be going quite well at the moment. I mean, through this sweeper, it can just take so much speed through some of these corners, it's unreal. The level of, you know, just grip in general is really very, very nice in this car. It's, yeah, there's not really much more I can say about it other than it is just a really nice, smooth, easy to drive. It's pretty much spot on, in all honesty. Could it be improved? Sure, it could be a little bit quicker in a straight line, it could be a little bit better handling, but, you know, so could a lot of things. It's still very good, and up to the line, what are we going to get? A 141.598, so that's the NSX dethroned. Let's see if it can go any quicker though on its final 2 laps. Yeah, I'm not surprised this thing has beat the NSX. I'm surprised it's done it by that much up to now though. I don't know if there's any more time to come out of this though, just because that lap was a very, very clean lap indeed. But you never know, maybe we can eke a couple more milliseconds out of the Focus RS. But I can't really praise it enough, to be honest with you. It's just a really good, honest, nice driving car. And I can't say I wasn't expecting it to be. So, I guess you could say it's a little bit predictable. You could say it's a bit boring even, but, you know, I mean, boring is often quite quick. And at the end of the day, on a series like this, where it's all about being quick, I will take that. Sure, it could be more entertaining to drive, but to be fair, I mean, I could make it more interesting to drive if I wanted to, you know, pull the handbrake and do some fun skids or something like that, and it would probably do them. But, in terms of going quick, it can do that very, very well indeed. Kind of tap the guardrail there a little bit, which I didn't want to do. Gear ratios are nice and short on this car as well, which is very helpful in terms of its acceleration. And because it's not rear-wheel drive, I don't really have to worry about putting the power to the pavement either. It can get away with that pretty well. We come around this final corner once again. Do a quick blast. Don't think we're going to go any quicker on this lap, so it's all to play for in this final lap. We'll see what sort of time we can get out of the Focus. Try and be smooth through this section here. A little bit of tail out action is what it is. The only problem with the short gears is through that section, the car really wants me to go for third, but as soon as you go to third, you're pretty much switching it back to second, so there's not really too much point. Lower the gear through there, go for a smooth. The other advantage of this as well is while it's fairly light, you know, it's under £3,000 just, it's not too light, so it's not being blown around by the bumps or anything like that, which is very nice. It feels very sure-footed. Again, it's just ridiculously easy and nice to drive. And you can't really ask for much more than that. Sure, again, a little bit understeery, a little bit oversteery at times, but you could tune all of that out very, very easily. One just requires a piece of carbon fibre being put onto it, and the other requires some tuning. That was a bit of an issue through there, but... oh, we're going to miss that checkpoint. Did we miss it? Yes, we did. Bollocks. Well, I don't know if that was on for a better lap time. I don't feel like it was particularly, so not really too much loss there, but still, incredible time from the Focus RS. Just pushed my luck a little bit too much through that section there. Let me just try this out. Yeah, you see, it'll slide, it'll do other things. I'm sure it can do very fast donuts and all the rest of it, so yeah, pretty cool car. I really have no complaints about the Focus RS. It was a very excellent car to drive, but again, maybe a bit predictable, but I'm perfectly fine to take predictable over a car wanting to kill me. Anyways, a 155.98 or 141.598 will put it into first place. It is 0.9 seconds quicker than the previous leader, the NSXR GT. It is trying to work that out. Almost 2 seconds quicker than the previous leader, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. I'm guessing that's down to just the weight of the Stelvio was higher than the weight of the Focus. It does beat out the Subaru by a decent chunk. Yeah, it does pretty much as well as we expected it to. I told you it would be challenging the NSX, and I was quite right. A very nice car to drive. Better, probably the best thing we've had so far. Is that a surprise to say? Not really, but again, you know, I'll take it. I'm perfectly happy with that. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. Next time, we'll be taking a look at another one of your vehicles. If you'd like to request cars for this series, you can do so down below in the comment section, either on HD Central or on my channel. If you are watching this on HD Central and you want to check out my channel, you can do so in the link in the description. Also, the link in the description on my channel is the Discord server. If you want to request cars, that's the best way to do it. I have a request chat that I check regularly. Instead of being 90% sure that your request is going to be added to the list, you can be 100% assured if you join the Discord, and it's not a bad place in general, so there you go. But thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a farewell.